This is hadn't quite came up with a name for myself, but you're at Momentum Movers Trading. Um, Something new here. I'm starting out. I did some videos way back in the day, a couple years ago, 10, 11 years ago, but current market conditions, necessitate a little more, I don't know, input. I feel like I have some input to share, and I just felt like it's time that I create a platform to, just share what I think going on with the market. So, I don't want to get all long-winded into it. I don't have a lot of experience right now with this. No fancy production and slide throughs and whatnot. This is Momentum Mover, so all of that'll be coming in with momentum as time progresses. But just getting right into the markets, and this first chart that I got up, the US dollar, I feel like is the most important. It's the most important chart that everything starts right here. I mean, and I you know, I say that, very seriously, not just with trading, but, just in a macroeconomic environment, everything starts with the US dollar. So getting right into that, um, and I like to break it down like this. You always say, what do I use algebra for? And I'll show you one instance right here. Let's say you have the number 10 over x, right? And as x gets, let's just look at x between 0 and 1, and then also from like 0 to 10, right? Like as x gets smaller, you know, the whole number itself gets bigger, right? Um, as x gets bigger, this denominator, it makes, you divide the pie by more, it gets smaller, right? Um, and we don't have to get all fancy into it, but basically everything is pretty much, denominated into like if you look at, say, a cryptocurrency, you look at Bitcoin. It's not just Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin USD or USDT, which backs the dollar, which tracks the dollar. I say that to say that it's a fraction as well. And everything is dollar denominated. When you buy a share of Tesla, you're buying, one share per so many dollars. When you buy AMD, Intel, any of these companies on the stock market, you're buying it with respect to the current price of the dollar. So with that being said, if nothing happens, if let's just say, they not reporting good earnings, let's just say they stagnant. Nothing could happen with that company, right? Okay. I need you to understand this. Nothing could happen with that company, but just the value of the dollar moving could give you a change in your share price, right? So, like, let's just say the world is stagnant, but the dollar is rising. Now, remember that fraction. You have a number, and you have a number on the bottom, the US dollar at the bottom. It's going up. Just as a just math wise, strictly algebra, the stock market has to start going down, right? All right, so and we'll talk about this, in coming weeks, months, years, however long this thing lasts. But basically, the dollar is increasing in value, and if you know any technical analysis, this is a bullish formation right here. Now we, over the long time, let's just, I didn't mean to do that, delete that, but this is just the thesis behind, where I feel like the major trends are going. You have this dollar that's rising, and let's just say we're gonna mark time right here at 2026, right? Like by 2026, just looking at this chart, this bullish W pattern, no matter what happens right here, by 2026, you'd expect it to be higher and going up here, just on technicals alone, right? Now, going in, this is a monthly candle. Each candle is a month. Let's just zoom in a little bit. We don't have to look all the way to 26 to trade. Just looking at pretty much just this week alone. This week alone, after this nice move up when I had in the dollar, you may get a retrace Monday or Tuesday and come back down here and test these highs. But overall, that will bounce, and you should expect to see the dollar continuously moving higher. And I have these alarms set right here because this is the area I'm watching where it topped out in the past, right? Like these levels of resistance, but we haven't quite got there. We didn't get quite get there next week. I'm pretty sure this week we're going to get there. And as that happens, now I'm not speaking as to what'll happen after it touched that, but when it touches it, you know, while it's on the way to it, you can expect a sell-off in the markets. Now, right now, Sunday trading, we going into Monday morning trading. Monday's looking to be a bad day. Now, we could touch this line, and as the dollar retraces, maybe come down here a little bit, you'll see equities, dead cat bounce, and you could get that move could last for a week or two. But we're just going, one day at a time, one week at a time. I expect this weekly candle to end, positive on the U.S. dollar. All right, so now that we know, just macro, what are we looking at the dollar to do? We're looking at the dollar to go up. That means for equities, anything denominated in dollars, you can expect, they don't even have to sell off, but it's going to be harder for them to go up. And that's the gist of things. Now, myself, I'm expecting sell-offs. I'm expecting major sell-offs. Over going into August, I'm expecting big, we'll get into that later, but I have targets of Bitcoin going down to 15K, and I'll explain that later. We don't have to, square that right now, but just where I feel like the market is going. I feel like it is not time to be long Bitcoin, and the way the dollar is looking, it is not time to be long any equities. It's a good time to short. The perfect time would have been at the top, but you still have a lot of room to go, to the downside. And that's what I'm speaking of. So like going into the future, if you stick around, there's just me here pretty much. But I imagine this video will be here for a while, and I imagine I'll be adding to it and trying to build the audience. But I'd like to just make this little hey, if you don't build it, they won't come. This is me building it. I'll start putting together a little something more formal, a little something more professional, something, where I could show my actual trading techniques. Right now we don't have any support and resistance lines. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing beauty. I'm just seeing like technical breakdowns everywhere. When you look at this Bitcoin chart right here, you got you some support resistance lines like Bitcoin. It hadn't even started breaking down yet. This next move, if you were short Bitcoin, you got $1,000 right there. But I imagine, that 42 was my line in the sand, and I won't explain why, but it was my line in the sand. Bitcoin's going to 15K. You could hear me say it right here. First video out, Bitcoin's going to 10K. The Nasdaq's going, 11K minimum. We're headed down here. Yeah, we're gonna make new lows on the Nasdaq, and the euro. Yeah, it's breaking down too. You could actually see the euro. You could draw you just a rudimentary trend line. Connecting supports and resistances. You know, going into what 26. As that dollar rallies, you could see the euro just selling off. And I mean, I understand about all the macro news. I'm I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories or anything like that, but basically, I feel like it's more important to pay attention to the charts. The charts will tell you what's going on in the world before any broadcaster ever will. Um, and this is just looking at a simple trend right here. I'm not touching and shoring up any of these lines to be perfect. Like I can make them, but we got a parallel channel right here, and we got a floor right here that, we may test. Like I say, that dollar as it moves up, it's about to hit resistance. So we could spend some time in this area right here. We could spend some time here, and that'll equate, we could spend a week or two right here in this area. But long term, we're headed down here after we do some consolidation. You see how we got these little, they look small, but on a weekly chart, you're looking at like what, how many weeks is that? Eat these little moves right here where you oscillate up and down, consolidate. That's we could zoom in real good. That's about a month and a half there, a month and a half there. This is about a good 6 month period right there. Um, we spent the better part of about 4 months right there. We're just now getting back right here. We're gonna break down, right? We could spike back up and then fall over. But once this area breaks right here, you know, or we could just go straight down. It's time to start watching. Like if you're not already short, I wouldn't recommend getting short. I really feel like you can see some volatility. You're gonna hear people getting excited about going long and all this, in this area, and it's gonna immediately give away those gains, right? Like this dollar move, is something serious. It's nothing to play with. Now, I say that, but where am I wrong? Like, where do you put your stop? That's the next important thing to understand when you're trading. Like, that's how I feel, but just being totally objectively, the dollar not going down. Like the dollar could give up a lot of ground before I'm wrong, right? So you could have a massive rally. You could go, the dollar retracing all of this, which I don't think is happening because you put in the MACD, um, and I'll show you. I have indicators that I didn't feel like explaining, but and, I may or may not. You get to putting in I'll get into explaining this later. This is the first video. I don't want to just break out all the tools right now. So like we just gonna hide all that, but just understand that I feel like everything is riding on this dollar chart, and you could get a wicked consolidation over here and still feel like the world is bullish. But this dollar, you're gonna test these highs up here, and as you test those highs, you're gonna see some massive sell-offs in equities, and that's my stance on it. I don't know how long I'm getting into this video right now. Like I say, I'm new at this. I don't even know how long the video is, but we just gonna end it right here. I think it's say 13 minutes or so. We gonna end it right here, and I'll see y'all on the next one as I try to, like I say, make things a little bit more professional, and give y'all some quality. I want to say I say that, but then also, it's just bare bones. I got this website. I plan to break down my analysis better, and break things down into a long, short portfolio. You don't have the stocks here. I say the market's going down, but what should you be short? If it's going down, how should you defend yourself if it's going down? On the days it goes up, what stocks should you be in? To catch that up, that good bounce. I have those here. What currency should you be watching? And a higher dollar environment. The euro, one being the euro, but what pairs? If the euro's going down on day, you kind of always have a hedge. Crypto, what's going on with crypto? Where's Bitcoin going? What are these other things doing? And like after the sell-off in crypto, right after they sell off, what coins should you be looking at? Like I say, I've been trading. Well, I never said it, but I've been trading for a long time. If you look at the other videos on this channel, you'll see. So I've dabbled in options, forex. I've started with penny stocks. I went into cryptocurrencies. So I've done a lot of it, and I do have. I'm not an expert in it, but I do have insight into all of it. And I have ideas, and like-minded people who feel like. Like I said, when I share, I watch videos on YouTube. As far as I'd like some feedback. Anybody that watches this, like and subscribe. It's the first video, the first video. It's all about momentum building. This is just leading ground flow. I got a bare bones website. Hey, it's live. This is being built. But if you go to .com, you see the same thing. I got it's coded. I'm coding it up and loading it up at the same time. So as I make developments, I'm loading it up to anyway, that's enough about that. I think this is pretty good for a first one. I just pretty much just watch it for myself. If anything else, if nobody watches it at all, it'd be a nice video catalog. I've been thinking about opening up a little account, $500 just growing this track record. How do you start off small? Is it possible to grow an account? Where do you start off the trade? I want to pretty much just open it up. This is a fucking professional trade. It is if you want to watch it. But for those who just, they did the Wall Street bets and why, and they just, they felt like it was something more to the markets than just, hanging around Reddit. Is it rigged? Is it not? How is it rigged if it is? Those type of questions. If you stick around on this channel, that's the type of direction I like to take us to. Like I say,